Oh, it's a full box. No, that's the full box.
How does it box?
Yeah. I got the top sheet. Can you grab that top sheet? And
This is the box
get it.
score.
That's the full box. Go bring that to John. Make sure that's in the right order too. For just myself.
Good seeing you, man. Exactly. No,
This shit just happens
over time. Yeah, that's real.
The difference between this team
I got one, thank you. And David missed a lot of shots down the stretch too. Oh, Dixon.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put them down.
Just keep it getting out.
From Dixon.
Right, there
You can always
you
get you.
there you go. I can get on self,
I can get me one.
and I can get me one, that one kid that's going from all three levels. Of course I can.
Don't have to do it now.
From all three levels.
That's right.
That's just, against a team like that, that's a big, it's a big deal.
I thought the physical maturity was good.
Oh, it was. I mean, it just started.
Push it back.
Oh, there you go.
He really played because Reed had pushed him all the way. Yeah, he pushed him all the way. That's what
Top first 20.
when they made the middle school. So then he started posting.
Yeah.
He could play for
Oh,
the
yeah.
Because you know,
Well,
he like them dudes. Right. Yeah. He don't Oh, is it the same dude?
Well, she can.
Yeah.
Boy, left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who reminds me? You know who reminds me? Remember that cat?
Not that much.
Right.
Not that much.
Not, and not with Rich Roll.
Yeah.
It's gonna be there.
JP was out of
Literally hanging off.
but a lot of times he was out of line.
He was out of control.
Yeah. But your man, Mac always defended him. Doesn't shock me, but no, I didn't know that. It doesn't shock me because he got an accent.
A little bit. Yeah. But he's tough.
Oh,
Shit.
yeah, coming off the bus. He was
Way out there, he was Josh and those Asians.
It did that. It did that. Look, Crony one, right there.
Coach, make opening statement. Open it up for questions to the athlete.
Yeah, just on the lead up to this, it was just great. Obviously we had a heartbreaker in the last one, but it was just great. I think what helped us a lot was just coming into a UConn Georgetown game where Ed's got these guys playing great. Almost got Marquette on the road. Just coming into a game where it's like, UConn and Georgetown's kind of back, and I thought the building, walking through the tunnel today was just an awesome feeling. With where the Georgetown program is, and being able to play a great big game on the road versus Georgetown when they got a real good team, and that kind of energized us coming out of that Villanova loss. That was tough for us. So. Credit to what Ed's done, but also credit to our team and credit to this man as the winningest player in college basketball, one of the greatest players in UConn history. And we knew we'd get this type of response from him today because this guy is one of the best players in college basketball.
Questions for Alex?
Hey, Alex, coming off of that loss, what was kind of the message coming in and just kind of leaving that behind because it was a tough loss and refocusing yourself in that locker room on the task today?
Yeah, doing whatever it takes to win. Coach talked a lot about hunger, just being the hungrier team out there offensively and defensively. And we knew that this is a completely different Georgetown team than they were last year. And we had to respond and really show up. And just really trying to leave that tough loss behind and just focus in on how talented this team is and just to do whatever it took to win.
And you guys defensively were locked in today, but what I don't think people notice is how physical you guys are off the ball. Just talk about how you were able to prevent Georgetown from getting to their landing spots and making them feel uncomfortable on their offense.
That was a big point of emphasis heading into this game, is just really trying to make their catches tough. And, teams do it to us every game, so we just decided why not do it to them. So, and it's the Big East, too. It's the most physical league in the country, and you just got to be physical if you want to win on the road especially.
Alex, like Coach said, you've accomplished so much in college, but obviously, the last game didn't end the way you wanted to. How have the last few days been for you? And, were you with the championship?
And what coach said, I did. I listened to it completely, and
Felt good, right?
it felt good playing with the rings. And I mean, that was probably the lowest of lows I've had in my UConn career, just from, I practice free throws all the time and just everything in general. I work my ass off, and for that to happen, it sucked. But had to have a quick turnaround and respond as the type of player that I am. But it's also just credit to coach right here. I mean, he was supportive. He was by my side the entire time and just lifted me confidence after the game when he texted me in the morning, just making sure I was good. And I don't think I would be able to have the performance that I did today if it wasn't for this man right here.
You guys had a long embrace after the game. Can you share anything?
Just a hug. I'm a big hugger, and I love hugs. And that's just someone who I am. And I mean, it was kind of just like a thank you to coach, just because he lifted my spirits. And the entire coaching staff, my teammates, my mom, my dad, they all lifted me up after that tough loss. But he was the main one that just really got me to the confidence level that I needed to today. And the hug was kind of just like a huge thank you.
How much do you think physical and mental maturity played in your victory, particularly in the second half?
I mean, we had to be. We couldn't be too high or too low just based on them going on a run or playing the scoreboard. And that's a lot of mental. It's just making sure that we stay with it. And they had the crowd by their side, and we knew that they were going to respond. I mean, Coach Cooley does a great job with their team. So we knew that they would respond, and we just had to really make sure that we stayed locked in throughout the entire game. And physicality was one of the main points heading into this game, too, so we weren't surprised by it.
Were you surprised by their diamond late in the game? I don't know how much they really showed that this year.
I mean, we've seen a bunch of defenses already, so you just got to go out there and play and just read and react to what the other teams do. And I think they did some diamond last year, too, when we played them, so it wasn't much of a surprise.
Anything else for Alex?
Right here. Alex, the 17-2 run to start the second half, what was the focus coming out of intermission for you guys?
Just set the tone defensively, and that's exactly what we did. And just to keep the crowd out of it, is we wanted to respond and play championship basketball as who we are as a program, and we did that exactly. And we really just built off that run into the rest of the half.
Also 7 of 10 from the field, 4 of 6 from three-point range. What do you feel you were able to take advantage of today offensively?
Just taking what the defense gives me, and a big emphasis for myself heading into the game was just being more aggressive and assertive. And it's my team, and I got to do that. And today I probably still passed up a couple shots, but still I just take what the defense gives me, as well as trusting my teammates to have the best teammates in the country.
That's for Alex right here.
Hey, Alex, in Coach's opening statement, he called you one of the greatest players in UConn history. How does that get your confidence going forward, and what does that mean to you?
I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, I haven't thought about it too much yet, just because I'm still playing here and want to add more to history. But that's just the greatest confidence boost that you could have as a player. And for him to be by my side and just lifting me up, it's unbelievable. And he's going to continue to push me every single day in practice. And when you get to the games, he's just uplifting everybody. And that's just what makes him the best coach in the country.
Thanks, guys. We'll have to go back to the locker room.
Okay, let's go, Bubba.
Questions for Coach Hurley? We'll start right here.
Hey, Coach, it looked like you varied your coverage on Sorber. A couple times you sent the double, a couple times you did not. Was that the plan today, was to make him almost think about how different you were in his coverage?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's all about with him, just the spots he catches it on, like your pre-catch, post-defense. If it's not on point, that guy is real technical, like a NBA vet in terms of like sealing and playing for position. So on the short 2-day prep, we just work so hard on pressuring post feeders and just breaking the contact with him and not giving angles into the post, and then really just trying to avoid letting him get catches in his spots. And then with certain players we trapped him, with other players that we thought were physical enough to hold up, we didn't trap him. So we threw a lot, obviously, at him.
And 15 turnovers, with the bulk of them being live ball turnovers. Just speak to, was that something, they have small guards. Was that something you thought you could take advantage of?
Well, yeah, I mean, they had 15. I mean, we don't turn people over. That's why we've been so bad defensively this year. But coming out of the Villanova game, where we just basically allowed their best players to catch the ball wherever they wanted on the court. A huge point of emphasis for us was to not let, really good or great offensive players catch the ball, because once they catch it, you got problems guarding Mack and guarding Epps and guarding Sorber and guarding Peavy. So just make the catches harder, and then I tell you what, like Williams and Williams and Peavy, there's a reason why they're top 30 in defense. I mean, those two guys are like shutdown corners. They really disrupted a lot of the stuff that we were trying to do, and we're a really good half court execution offensive team, but those two guys were like shutdown corners out there just blowing stuff up. They're a really excellent defensive team in their own right.
You like what Ahmad gave you, especially when he came in for Osami in the first half, on both sides of the ball?
I did. I thought he was good. Gave us a little bit of offense there, some physicality on the ball. I think that he takes a step towards earning time in each half, and then listen, Hassan is Hassan needs to be kind of playing in that 28 to 30 minute range. So we need that. We need that from Ahmad.
Talk about your maturity second half. I mean, you guys stuck with what you did and blew the game away.
Yeah, I mean, we just talked about hunger. I thought that we were, there wasn't a desperation to us in the Villanova game. Sometimes when you win 8 in a row, you forget how brutal you feel when you lose one, and we forgot that feeling of Maui and what that felt like, and that feeling of losing has got to unleash a hunger in you, and a desperation, and an urgency. And I thought we played with that type of just hunger today, like there was no way we were going 0-2 this week. And I don't think a lot of people are going to win at Georgetown this year. So I think this really helps us in terms of playing at the top of the league, because I think they're gonna hold court here a lot.
When you look back at your St. B's days, how have you grown?
I'm nowhere near as emotional. No matter what, fake stories people write about. I'm just going to tell you, like, I've not had a text message or a phone call. I saw the president in an elevator when we played Gonzaga at MSG, and she wished me good luck. That's the only conversation I've had with my school president, okay? And I would just please with UConn fans, like engagement farming media, like those people that are not legitimate, like they're winning if you respond to what they're writing, like low-level journalism, like that, like don't unfollow, and I just please leave it with like 1 or 2 likes, and like don't engage that shit like that. But I'm not a whole lot different, I just, listen, you get better. I think obviously, when I'm in a situation like I'm in, maybe the team's not playing well, you feel like you're not getting, a great whistle. Obviously, I'm an intense coach. But again, I grew up on Big East basketball in the 80s and 90s when that's how the men coached, and that's how the games were played. And I grew up on Knicks Bulls. I grew up on Lakers Celtics and Sixers Celtics, and I grew up on that's the basketball, and men competed life or death to win games, and it was total desperation, and that's how I coach. If people are too soft to not like that, I guess they could try to cancel my style, but I don't give a shit.
Anything else for Coach?
It's a good way to end it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks,
you got one?
Yeah, we'll go ahead. Yep.
I'll just say it. Coach, you talked about growing up watching Big East basketball and the UConn-Georgetown rivalry coming back.
Yeah.
Can you just explain a little bit more about like the energy in the stadium today and just the energy on the court as well?
Yeah, I mean, I came in here as a player. I got my shot blocked by Morning and Mutombo, and then I got destroyed by AI, and just grew up the Hoya paranoia, and then it's one of the great brands in college basketball, and the Big East cannot survive and continue to compete for national championships and bids and to make it the best league in the country without Ed Cooley here and without, you know, Georgetown getting behind Ed like this. And, you know, they're coming, you know, they're coming for all the top teams that have been, you know, the best teams in this league the last couple of years. They're coming for us. They're coming for Marquette. They're coming for Creighton. You know, same thing for St. John's. But we need that. You know, we need this. We need this Ed Cooley-led Georgetown program where, you know, they're nationally relevant and competing for this Big East championship. So we need it. The league needs it, or else we can't survive.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Good seeing you, Coach.
My man.
All right, good
It's always great seeing you, man.
Hey, how's Samardo Samuels? You talk to him?
I did. I saw him like 2-3 months ago.
You doing all right? Good to see you, man. Oh, I have no idea. Well, specific, no, I was just pulling questions. I wasn't referencing no specific. Obvious. Some shit happened. Exactly.
That was a
I have no idea, man. I just was just talking about this. You should get that shit in.
Yeah, okay. 'Cause I was gonna, that's why I wanted to ask you. When you walked out the room, I was gonna ask you like, hey, what the fuck? I'm like, no. Oh, so, that shit when Matt comes out, he knows, I guess what I told him, he said, look, man, I'm not gonna do this because so I'm not gonna go up. And he wouldn't say that was JP. I mean, he knew it was JP, but yeah, he said, and I, when he said that, I thought, okay, there's doing that.
Lance Stevenson destroying people that are 35 years old, one-on-one. Yeah, like high-level one-on-one destroying in December. But I can see that though. I mean, you can be strong.
Right.
He knows how to use it.
Yeah, he does.
Even violence, maybe.
I didn't even know he was still kind of like playing the game.
At some, yeah.
Or at some level, yeah.
Destroying.
Gotcha.
6'4", 6'5".
He was always built.
Even in one dribble.
Yes.
You used to get his shoulder and your sternum. Come back here, bro.
Yeah, do you want to do it?
We can't wall that up.
No. You can try to stay in tough.
Yeah, he's gonna move us.
Yeah. That's why I mean, yeah.
He's gonna move
Oh,
us.
yeah. I didn't know. Twice in a number.
That's turnover, bro.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, that's a turnover.
Oh, that's what it might be. You said Antonio. Shoot. Really?
He's a real defensive guy.
He used to talk about shooting turnovers. Like, we baked that into how we play defense. Because he wants to force you turnovers. He wants to force you to move so fast that you're missing shots that you used to do. There you go.
I'm good. What's that?
Everyone set? We'll have President Cooley upload the statement, then we'll move to questions.
It's a lot to talk about in this game here. I thought that was experience against youth. The maturity of Diarra, the maturity of Caravan, the maturity of Sampson, it really showed. I thought they played emotional and they had their emotions intact. I thought we played emotional and we played emotional. We weren't disciplined with our emotion. I thought physically they bothered us. Offensively, we were out of sorts. What I am very, very proud of, we got down pretty big and we continue to fight, chip at it. Very, very proud of our men for that. This was a This was an uncharacteristic game for our men. I have not seen that side of the team, and I think a lot of that had to do with Connecticut's pressure, their half-court pressure. I thought our preparation was really good. I thought we got away from it for about 7 minutes, and, there was a stretch that opened a half. We miss a layup. We turn it over. We turn it over. We turn it over. I thought that was the game right there. Game, set, match, and then it was kind of even, and then that's how it played out. We've got to find a way to get Jaden Epps back in the game. He's not still 100%, so we try to play him as much as we can, but hopefully he's healthy enough to help us when we go down on Tuesday. Now have him playing back-to-back games against 2 top 10 teams in our league. I love where we're at. I'm very, very frustrated and pissed that we lost the damn game, but I'm excited about what I feel and what I see to give us a chance each and every night. We got it. We got to grow up a little bit with our emotions and our physicality. That was a very, very, very physical game. All the credit to Connecticut.
Let's get started with Patrick Stevens from the AP, and we'll go to Gene Milwaukee.
Pat, what's up?
Ed, when you're watching those first 5, 6, 7 minutes of the second half, was it unnerving to see your team unravel in a way that probably hasn't unraveled since that Notre Dame
Sure.
game?
I mean, I saw that there, and that's something we'll get better at, right? And again, it's adversity for our men, right? It's something that we can learn from and grow from. Like I said, you had a very connected, senior-laden team on the floor that has been through it. They're national champions for a reason. Those 3 are a big, big part of it. I think it'll be a learning thing for us, and we'll grow from it. It's definitely something we didn't see, but I'm glad we got it out the way. Now it's unfortunate it was at home.
And just kind of dealing with their defense throughout the day. I mean, that was an angry version of them, obviously, coming off a loss. But how difficult was it to
We're angry as well, bro. We're angry as well. I mean, we're coming off a loss as well, right? Again, they have a senior-laden team, regardless of winning or losing. That was the story of this game. A mature team against a very, very young team, and that's how it played out. Now, play here or there, right? But that was, you got to give them a lot of credit. There's nobody more angry than Georgetown. You come off a loss the way we lost out in Milwaukee and then I loved our character today because we could have easily shut it down. We were down 21-22. They're a good team. Shit, they're a top 10 team for a reason. But we're not too bad. We're going to be a tough out for a lot of people. And I'll tell my locker room, if you're soft, you're not playing in this league. You're just not. You're not going to play. You better knuckle up, put a helmet on, put some brass knuckles on, and let's play. Because that's how this game was today.
And kind of expanding on your opening remarks, Danny was effusive in the praise of the direction of this program. Based on the result today, where do you see your program at compared to an elite program like Connecticut, and maybe what work needs to be done to get there?
I don't know if you can compare the programs. You have an established thing. We're in the early part of our second year here. I love where we're at as far as our alignment and infrastructure with our administration, with our players, all right? I mean, this is a player-led organization, and I love these men. We've come a long way, but we have a long way to go, right? I'm really, really grateful to our crowd today. Very grateful to our crowd. Hopefully they're not disturbed by the way we played, but hopefully they see how hard we play. We weren't very disciplined out there, but damn, I'll be damned if we don't play hard. I don't know if you can compare the programs based on this is a very early part of our tenure here, but you can see where we're going. You can easily see where we're going. And I can't say it enough. We want to keep our best players home. Many of them were in the building today, which I'm grateful for, and that's part of building a crowd. That's part of building excitement. As frustrating as it was today, I saw some growth in us from a standpoint of infrastructure growth as a program. That's where our program's at right now.
Hey, Coach, Hurley talked about throwing mixed coverages at Thomas today, some double, some not double, some pushed him out. Did you think that impacted the way Thomas played, maybe slowed him down, maybe got him off his game, or did you not see a difference?
Oh, we definitely saw a difference. Thomas has to learn he's going to be at the top of a lot of scouting reports, right? Just like these guys are at the top of scouting reports. They're going to get everybody's best game, right? When you're a prospect like that, when you're a prospect like these guys, same thing we do, nothing's going to be easy. And then the physicality, don't forget, Thomas just turned 19 years old, right? He's got some adults in there holding, grabbing, pushing, right? And again, the officials can't call every foul, but they got to do a better job in cleaning up the interior way that they're guarding my big guy. So he's getting a little frustrated with that, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. You got to do a better job cleaning up the interior of that. Because I'm pretty sure Thomas is laying some guys out in there too. But again, I'm very, very biased. And the only thing I see one side. I see one side. But they got to do a better job with that. Because I mean, they were holding, grabbing. Yeah. But anyway, yeah.
And for Micah and Malik, just their physicality wasn't only on the ball, off the ball when you guys were trying to run your actions. There was a lot of bumping and so on and so forth. Just how did that make it difficult for you guys to get into any sort of flow in your offense?
I'll say that's on us. We have to do a better job just getting open earlier. I think we were trying to get open at the three-point line, but we need to start working our way in earlier so that we can catch it in a scoring position. So that's just something we got to work on, and we are going to get better at it.
Yeah, it kind of, you can see it affected us on the court a little bit, but that's something we just got to learn, something we've been talking about all year, even in the summer, that in the Big East, it get physical, and they not really going to call too much once it's a physical game. So we just got to take that head on and not exceed their physicality and bring it to them. I feel like today they kind of had moments where they was bringing it to us, and we was trying to complain our way through it, but instead of just playing. So we know it's the Big East, and we know we got to play through physicality. So we're going to get better with that for sure.
We're going to go to Ron Bailey and then head to that side of the room.
Coach, do you think that maturity gap kind of manifests itself in some ball sticking in the second half? When you got the ball into the paint, guys were forcing through 2 and 3 defenders as opposed to kicking it out.
I think that's a fair question, Ron. I mean, I thought we were frustrated. I don't know if the ball was sticking because everybody was trying their hardest, right? I just thought everybody was trying too hard and not trying to use one another to make it a little bit easier. I liked our physicality off the ball. But again, you're down 20 or whatever, and you're trying to get back in, and everybody's trying to play as hard as they can. When we unravel like that, we got to trust each other a little bit more. And when the ball was moving, we got some good shots. We didn't make some of the open ones we normally make, but I thought we got some energy points with our press, right? A deflection here, but again, that this game came undone with coming out of halftime, right? Which I was surprised at. I was really, really surprised at that.
Did Curtis help you at all defensively on
Yeah.
ball?
Curtis has now played 3 or 4 games in a row where he's given us a ton of energy, a ton of spirit, length, scoring. So that's good to see, And again, as he continues to grow, we'll continue to get better because we're going to need that quality depth in the backcourt, especially with Epps being down.
It seemed like a lot of calls didn't go you guys' way. Like, what do you tell your young team that you guys have, like, just to stay composed? Like, what do you tell them in those situations?
Composure. There are days where, the whistle may not go your way, right? And again, I can't say this enough. I will take Big East officials over any officials in the world. We have the elite of elite officials in our league. Do they have bad games someday? Yes, so do we as coaches, so do we as players. But this game wasn't about officiating. You got to adjust to the officials. You got to adjust to the physicality, right? But, I mean, they had some tough calls on their end as well. Right, we got to the free throw line 23 times. We missed 8 of them, 2 front ends. Right, you lose by 8. Right, you lose by 8. Right, we missed probably 6 or 7 layups. So, I'll never come in here and complain about officiating. Do I always want it to be one way? 1,000%, 110%. But that's just not the way it is. This game wasn't about officiating. This was about a mature Connecticut team that came into our building and they out-toughed us today. That's keeping it, as you kids would say, facts.
And speaking of the physicality, like in the second half, Thomas kind of messed up his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean he'll see our medical team, right? It was when he was falling, he said, I think when Sampson was falling, he kind of pulled on his arm a little bit. But one thing about Thomas Sorber, he's a tough cat. He's a tough dude. I'm taking Thomas Sorber over any big in America. Every day, all day, 9 times on Sunday, not twice. Thomas is a load in there, and he's getting better and better. He's got to learn to deal with how he's being scouted. It's good to be on a scout report, by the way. It's real good to be on a scout report.
Ed, I believe the largest crowd since December 2015 in a game to see you guys. How was the crowd this afternoon?
Very grateful for it. You know what I mean? I'd love to hear you say that every time we play. Largest crowd, and continues to grow and grow and grow. I appreciate that. And, again, when we lose a game like this, I feel for our community. Right, so I take ownership on that. I have to be a better coach in these situations to make everybody feel like they're part of it. If we can continue to do that, and I'll continue to ask and make sure this piece goes out, we need them at our games. And I think we're earning their trust, meaning our fans, on how hard we play. We don't always play the smartest, but we play hard, and I think at the end of the day, that's all people want to see, especially when we're growing. I mean, we're still developing our program. We're developing our identity, right? And, you know, we're in our second year. We're getting there. We're not there yet, right? We got a young team, youngest team in the Big East. But we're far from the softest team in the Big East, I can tell you that.
Caravan set 4 of 6 from three-point range, I think, finished with 19. What was the toughest challenge trying to contain him throughout the course of the year?
Moves well without the ball, took advantage of, I mean, the 4 threes he got, he was open, right? I mean, you know, he obviously made them, but he was a really priority in our scouting, and unfortunately, we got a D+ on his assignment. We got a D+ on his assignment for him to even get 4 clean ones off, right? That was miscommunication, and hopefully the next time we play him, we could adjust.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Coach, are you willing to say what you and Hurley gapped up about midway through the first half?
He goes, that's just 2 New Jersey guys. That's it.